Well, hey everybody, welcome to Strike Three Fishing live stream with got a special guest, Van from Thumper Jigs. We're going to give a and we're going to let everybody get on here for a couple 3 minutes and put a comment on. Let me know you're here. If you got any questions for Van, we're going to obviously talk about his Thumper Jigs and everything. So if you got anything for Van, ask him on here on the comments, and I'll post them up on the screen here and see what's going on. But we got Northeast Missouri angler Dennis is on. What's up, Dennis?
How you doing, Dennis? Good to hear from you again, man.
Yeah, he does a good job with his channel, his
Yes,
his
he
videos
does.
as well. So we'll give a couple seconds people to get on here. Kind of short notice, guys and gals. I apologize, but something Van and I just kind of put together today. I had a night off from refereeing basketball tonight, and called Van about 4 o'clock. See if you want to get on tonight. It's nice and warm out here in Missouri, about
Yeah,
0 degrees. So
yeah.
be a good
We,
night to do
we
this.
have, and we have been pretty busy as far. We just finished up the Collinsville show,
Yeah,
and we did fair there. The crowd was down quite a bit, uh, and I said earlier, I think we were talking. We shorted 5 colors. We ran out of 5 colors. Pam come to me Saturday evening and said, we're about out of the cicada, the blue and the chartreuse, and I
right.
that is it. That is the color we sell and most demand. I mean, it's amazing. We went through 30 bags of cicadas, just them alone, and then the white chocolate ran out, and the black
Yeah,
and
that was
chartreuse.
a hot color. I mean,
Yeah,
that color didn't last long at all.
I know it. So we're getting ready to go to Rock Island here in a little better than a month, and we are working feverishly at getting everything, getting all the jigs tied up again and restocking. Uh,
Right.
so, uh,
Yeah, it's when you're got a good reputation like you do, it's hard to keep some of them jigs in stock.
yeah, it is. And then and we've had a really growth spurt with Lure Parts Online in Springfield, Illinois. They're a worldwide company. They sell on the internet. They ship to Istanbul, Malaysia. I mean, our stuff goes out all over from them people, and it seems like every at least every other Tuesday we get a new work order from them.
Right. Yeah, I knew it was once a week.
Yeah, yeah, it has been lately. It's been once a week. Uh,
Yeah.
it's really taken off. In November of 2020, Lure Parts Online took on our product line. They get, I think they get 10 different colors uh, in 2 different sizes, 8th ounce and 16th ounce.
Right.
Now they're up to a little more because the new colors, the dreamsicle and the white chocolate, and a couple, the blue ice. That was another one sold out. So, at any rate, now we're doing them as well for them, and they just sent us a note saying that our email saying that our jigs outperform a lot of the other crappie stuff they brought on by 18%.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
we're extremely happy about that. Very proud of that.
Right.
So
Right here at Mark Twain Lake, everybody. Van from Thumper Jigs is joining us. We got Doug Porter. Thanks for joining us today from Ellsbury, Missouri. Hello, Doug. Looks like said Northeast Missouri angler Dennis Lawrenson's on here. So if you got any comments, guys, any questions for Van, myself, whatever, crappie fishing in general, Thumper Jigs, chime in here and we'll get it answered for you. Uh, how long have you been in business, Van?
I started. We actually registered the business, I believe, in 2016. I think is the license. I mean, you know, it started when I had kidney disease, and I was going through all kinds of medications and stuff, and it was just a dark time, and it was
Right.
a relief for me. I mean, I honestly, guys, I got so sick. I swear to God, that I would actually put my boat in by myself. I was so weak from eating so much prednisone that I had to actually crawl out on the walkout ramps and roll into my boat to get in and go
Wow.
fishing.
Wow.
And then when I'd pull back in at South Fork, I'd have to wait for somebody else to come in so I could get in the truck and ride up there with them because I couldn't hardly walk up that ramp.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but all that's good now. That's pretty well over with. Uh, I don't get to stay out in the sunlight very long because we're taking so much anti-rejection medicine. But
Sure.
that's all. And so, at any rate, that's what started this thing, and I had no idea that it would have grown into what this has become.
Right. Yeah, it's doing pretty well. We
Oh my
got Matt Wiley on. Hello, Matt. We got looks like we got Larry Black. He's watching from Deloge. Picked up a lot of Thumper
Thank
Jigs
you, Larry.
show.
You bet. Hope they work for you.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
send Van some pictures on Facebook.
you
With
bet.
some fish you catch on them. He always likes to see them pictures. Send him a message or whatever. But Van's got a lot of jig heads, thumper jig, pill heads, and shad heads that I use a lot on my videos and have been for 2 years now, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. It was 2 years
And
ago in Collinsville that we got together.
yeah, yeah, and I'm glad to be on his staff and using a good quality jig head. But the pill heads, they come in 1/8 ounce, 16th ounce. I know they got you're running some with a 1/0 hook in them now, and I know you're going to go back to the number one.
Yeah,
Hook.
that was a product availability deal. I mean, we just couldn't get the hooks. When I started this company, we were using Matsuo hooks, and Matsuo it went bankrupt. And I made some phone calls, and I bought all that Everhart's had. I bought all the lure parts on. I mean, we're looking at 6,000 or 7,000 hooks.
Yeah.
Well, finally, Jim from Cast Industries called me. He goes, I was at iCast and talked to the guy that's starting a new company, and it's exactly the same hook Matsuo. And he happened to have 50. He had 62,000, and I bought 52,000 of them.
Wow.
So we have 1/0s and 2/0s, but now they still are shipping in number ones to us. And so
Right.
when we can't get the number ones, then I have to go back into the hooks that I got and get the 1/0, and it's just that's just the way it is. It's either that or don't do them. So
Right.
so I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit bigger hook.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been using them 1/8 ounce pill heads this winter with the 1/0 hook,
Right.
and I have no problems with them, obviously. But
Right.
that size one's going to be perfect as well.
Right.
So,
And we're actually just about out of the 1/0s. I mean, we got some painted pill heads, and so once we get through them, I've got 3,000 number ones. I've got 6,000 16ths with number ones, and then we'll be shortly ordering another 3,000.
right. It looks like Larry Black's on. Hello, Larry. Thanks for joining us tonight. His home lake is Clearwater. I've never fished that lake. I'm sure you have, Van. I'm not sure.
Clearwater. I'm sorry, I have not. I don't exactly where is that.
He's curious on how they will do on it. He's going to be at Mark Twain first week of May. I'm not is Clearwater. I mean, I don't know what the water clarity is like there.
Yeah, that's the thing, and and it really depends on the color jig that you got.
Right.
I mean,
the cicadas are going to work great in that.
Right. They always do. The Kermit, that two-tone chartreuse. It seems, like I said, white chocolate is just. I mean, we got on something there that just people just like the cicada. They just buy it up and buy it up.
Right.
And
Well, that white chocolate. Yeah. Well, that white chocolate at the Collinsville show, a lot of guys from Lake of the Ozarks,
right.
2 or 3 guys bought that
Absolutely.
white chocolate to, head down Lake of the Ozarks with that,
right.
the hair jig there. So.
Yeah, and we've got several. For as far as the powder coat goes on our jigs, we've got several of the Proline powder coat stuff, and I was looking at some like maybe some of that disco gold, some of that really bright gold metal flake, and then same way with the silver, that gray iron jig we tied, we did pretty good with it at Collinsville. Really excited about it. It looked a lot like a shad. You know, it, so we saw quite a bit of that for it being fairly new too.
Right.
So I'm really wanting to get it on a bright silver jig head.
Mm-hmm.
See how that works. But
do you have any of them white chocolates handy or cicadas handy or the hair jigs? You got them.
No, I don't have none with me. They're all boxed up in totes.
Right.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, the way we do it is I'm tying 20 bags of jigs a day, which is, 40 bags a day, which is 20 of each color, and that's
right.
120 jigs a day.
Name says it all. Obviously, Clear Lake. I figured it would be clear, but he said it's very clear.
Very clear. Yeah, well,
8 foot of water. So there you go, Van.
I mean, I'd say a Kermit. It's a 2-tone chartreuse. It's a mirror. It's a regular crystal flash chartreuse, and it's laid over a hairline dubbing chartreuse. And then we have most all of ours have an accent bar on them to kind of break up the color, so that
right.
like on a chartreuse jig, it don't look all exactly chartreuse.
Right.
And, so you see them, and everybody that buys them can see that. And then we've gone to some new stuff now that goes over it, and it kind of looks like it's a glazed over the top of the jig. And I'm really excited about that. It'll move a lot of light. Like I said, in a clear water lake, it'll move a lot of light. Now, I sent some stuff down to Stockton, and they seem to be did good down there.
I've seen a few of the pictures the guys sent in from Stockton.
Yeah. So
doing good down there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like you can, Matt says you can get them at the Hobby Hut, of course. And you can get them.
I was just there Tuesday. They got some left. Yeah.
And where else can you get them around the lake?
You can get them Hobby Hut, Clarence Cannon Dam. Nick's got them. They're Hunting Corner.
Hunting Corner, yep.
South Fork had some. I know that they sold, they changed ownerships.
Right.
I'm sure they still got some.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still going to have them in there.
Let me think. I think that's about it around the lake, ain't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the Hobby Hut. Hobby Hut, Hunting Corner.
Lure Parts Online. We had there was at the show. There was a bait shop owner. The bait shop owner from Streeter, Illinois, and he's wanting to carry our jigs, but we just right now just don't have time. And and one of the issues we're going to have is that when time we get done with Rock Island, then we got to get ready in 5 weeks for Kansas City or 6 weeks. And then by then that's middle of March. And then all those people I just mentioned around the lake, they're going to want their jig.
They're going to want restocked because they're going to probably be out.
Right. So, I mean, when you tell somebody you got 3,000 jigs, man, I used to think that's a lot till I get down to the bottom of that box and there ain't no jigs in it.
Yep. I mean, it's just you and Pam pretty much in the office.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, the Van right here is the man that ties the jigs.
Yeah.
Pam put the eyes on there, everything else and does what she does. And
she takes care of the entire business end of this business. Other than the only thing I do is order stuff.
Right.
And she does. I mean, she ties jigs too. She ties all the 24th ounce jigs, and she ties a lot of tippets up.
Right.
But all the business end, trust me, if I got an issue with a supplier, she's the one calling because I get too excited.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. And if I tell her, we need to order this or order that, we sit down and talk about it, and then
do it.
Yeah.
I know you just ordered some new show stuff. He was telling me.
Yeah, we got all new displays for Rock Island. I'm really excited about that. I mean, I've seen some of the stuff. That they were using.
Crank wraps.
Yeah, Crank Wraps was using their Collinsville.
Apex Tackle and all them shit.
And it kind of made me look like the Clampus before they got the money. I mean, my goodness, man.
Yeah, it's just a big learning process on these
Yeah, it
shells.
is. Sure, it is. And
You
so
know,
we ordered all that stuff. Some of it started getting delivered today.
yeah, I know
So,
you talked to Rick from Crank Rafts and Chad Deaver from
yeah,
Apex. I know they were talking to you about
yeah, they sure
the
was.
racks and everything. So
We are, and we are. Somebody asked a question about there. Is it easier to get it from us or from Lure Parts? Uh,
yeah, that was let's see, that was Dennis from
oh yeah.
Northeast Missouri Angler. Do you prefer people to order direct from you or go through parts, and what payment options do you accept?
Whatever we have PayPal, uh, and whatever whatever you're convenient with it. I mean, I understand maybe somebody's getting on Lure Parts to buy a line, or buy a crankbait or a spinnerbait. I mean, that place is, for a small place, it ain't nothing but rack after rack.
Right.
So what I mean, if you're on there, however you feel convenient,
Yeah. If you're
So
in Mark Twain Lake area, if you can get around the road construction or the bridges out there off Route U where he lives, but
right.
he's open to stop by the shop or whatever you can do, whatever you
Yeah,
want to
well,
do.
I mean, I love to visit people, and we talk about, the other day, like I think I mentioned that I was at Hobby Hut, and there was a couple coming in there. It was Tuesday, I believe. It was pretty decent, 40 something. Call that
Yeah.
decent,
That's the day
but
everybody was fishing on Tuesday and I was working.
right, and they had them in a box, and the lady seen my hat, and we got talking about apparel and stuff. But I told her, I said, far as I know, and I ain't been on the water in a while, but most all of the fish coming out of the lower end of the lake right now. And I said, they're catching a lot of black crappie. And I said, I honestly, I in 2000, I did an article for Crappie Journal magazine for Crappie USA on Lake San Chris and up around Taylorville, Illinois. Any rate, it was 19 degrees out. And it was a hot water lake, and we had to keep dipping the rod tips in the water to keep the ice from icing the eyes up. And Randy and I both got a limit. And I wrote, there was snow on the ground behind us. And I wrote an article for it. And I called Dan Stevens at the time, was the biologist. So I called Dan and was asking him about, why is it predominantly you catch black crappie in the winter or late fall? And he said, and I said, this was 2000. He said, well, I really, you're right. But he goes, I really don't have a clue, and I mentioned the other day to you, I believe, and it's just what I believe, is that the water temperature in the fall goes from warm to cold. And I think that pushes them black crappie together. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. But in the spring, it goes from cold to warm. And as it warms up, I think them black crappie start peeling off and roaming on their own. I don't know.
Right.
But I can, on this lake, I'll bet you, I guarantee you that you catch more blacks when it goes from fall to winter than you will in winter to spring, because the water temperature is going from cold to warm, and and from the snow and the ice, and it just if anybody been around, even you go up Sandy Creek or 107 Cove in March, the water's kind of chocolatey milk looking, and you're catching fish. And I think a lot of that is not only dirt and mud, but it's a lot of it's fresh nutrients that come in from the winter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when you catch them fish, they're all opaque looking. They don't have a lot of color to them. They're cold as ice if you pull them out.
Oh,
of the water.
Yeah. Them blacks. I mean, we catch a lot of black crappie in the wintertime.
Right.
I do anyway. On the lower end of the lake where I fish.
Right. And and that's. I mean, and now when you go to Florida, like I was in Florida for 2 winters, there ain't nothing down there but black crappie.
Right.
And they want that for the most part. They want for the most part a very, very small jig.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I think you throw a 3-inch jig at it scares them. I think
they like that smaller jig.
Yep. I mean, everybody, when I tried to sell my jig down there, that's really nice, but it's too big. So I had to make special Florida jigs, and we just don't make
right.
it.
But, that tippet's kind of smaller profile. That tippet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I had to cut some of the shank off the jig head. You know, in other words, where the collar comes out. You
Right.
know, and then the amount of fabric that went on it, I had to cut that down and stuff. So it just because they eat down there, they eat grass shrimp, so you know they don't want a big bait. They're just not used
Right.
to it. So,
Right.
but for up here, I mean, I'm looking forward to this spring and summer. I bought a live scope, and I'll be honest with you, I'm probably not the guy to own one. me and technology, uh, me and technology just don't get along real good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't so expensive, I'd have probably kicked it off the deck by now.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
game changer. I tell you that. You
but
know.
I mean, thing that I've only used it 3 times, and trust me, I had it screwed up every time I used it. I'll be honest about it. I'm just not that guy. But
Right.
uh, I've already learned that these fish are way more spooky than I ever thought they were. You know, I mean, some days you can get right up on them and drop that jig on them, and some days you get up on them, and by the time you cock that pole and get ready to drop it in, they're gone. It's
Right.
over. You know,
Hmm.
so
Yeah. It's a game changer.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got Scott Breed. He's on here. Hello, Scott. He says, "Hi guys, it's a great idea of a show, and with a great
How you
product,
doing, Scott?
hope to do more." So, yeah,
Good deal.
we're gonna probably throw these shows up. Hopefully once a week. Like I said, I referee high school basketball. We're in the basketball season right now, and I actually got the rest of the week off, and my knees really appreciate it right now. My legs, so. Uh, so we're gonna probably try to shoot for Thursday nights, but it might be hit and miss during basketball season right now when I'm out refereeing. But Van was nice enough to come on tonight and talk about his jigs and his business and everything. And looks like we got 17 people watching. Not bad.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got a question here from Mike Frailman, St. Charles, Missouri. He just tuned in earlier and he says Mark Twain iced over yet, and I checked Spalding boat ramp today, and that ramp is open. Pretty much all of Spalding's open. The main lake looking out is open. Going over the dam's open. Lick Creek Bridge there by Blackjack's open. I don't know about your end.
Yeah, the upper end. I mean, I haven't looked at Middle Fork, but I was across Route 24 there up North Fork, and
Yeah,
it's iced.
it's
It's
yeah, it's
iced.
froze. Yeah,
Yeah, it's been that way for a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Ray Barron's is still open because I think
Yeah, somebody plowed it off the other day, didn't they?
yeah, that was very nice of whoever did that.
Yep.
I forgot who it was. I've seen it on Facebook, and
Yeah.
oh, it was Jim, the guy that thinks the guy that ran Blackjack. I think
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
Jim
believe.
Taylor, is that his
Yeah.
name? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I seen some
He
of
was
that.
he was out there in his blade and side by side and doing all that. But as far as I know, Ray Barron's is open to get in. Spalding on my end of the lake, and that's about the only two ramps I'll ever put in at this time of year.
When they closed Route U for me, that just kind of put the hammer on me because
Right.
I had to put in across the street at the single lane ramp or track all the way around to 107 or Stoutsville, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
I'm like, there's 40-minute drive there and back where it could have been so
Yeah.
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 One of the
Northeast.
other things I wanted to touch on the live scope, what I've seen, and trust me, I I'm not fluent with it at all. But one of the things that I noticed is when I was younger and in the hustle of tournament fishing, what have you, we'd pull in on a flat, and if 10 to 20 minutes you didn't get bit, you put the pole down and jump on the big motor and say, well, there ain't no fish here. Well,
Right.
that's changed with live scope because you can see them.
Yeah.
You can see them and say, well, but they ain't eating what I'm throwing, or for
Yeah.
whatever reason. I mean, but
Yeah.
that's one thing that I've noticed about live. And the other thing is they're just so spooky. I mean, people tell me, oh, them big fish spooky. Yeah. I'd run the boat into brush pile and bang. Well, they
Right.
are. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched Todd Huckabee the other day talking about, pull that trolling motor down. Once you find them fish on a big blowdown, pull that trolling motor down and sneak up on them real slow. And that still is it's still no indication whether you're going to spook them or not. But
no, because a lot of times on live scope, you'll come up there and they might leave the brush pile and go, 2 or 3, 4 foot away, but then within
come
5,
back in. You can see
5,
them.
6 minutes, they're coming right back.
You can see them.
Yeah.
You can go. I was the other August back in Middle Fork. I'd pull up on 6 or 8 trees and catch one, spook the rest out, and then come back and fish them again.
Yeah. Well, it's like Gary Gersbinski. What's up, Gary? I hope I said your last name right. I always mess it up, but Gary's a good buddy of mine. Fishing bass tournaments with him, and I know he got some of them Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, he did. Thank you, Gary. We appreciate it. And they'd have been a day earlier, but after I told you I was going to ship them on Monday, I forgot it was holiday. So I'm impressed. If you got them that fast, I was pretty impressed.
And I had some in my shop, Gary. I got them hanging up on my pegboard. You could have just called me. I could have held you over till Van mailed them to you.
You know what?
I got there pretty quick.
I hope they win the Super Bowl, but I really, really hope they win the Super Bowl because after the Super Bowl, we're going out to Kansas City. Yeah, so I better store some of them up.
Yeah. Well, I made a video last year on the AFC Championship game against Buffalo, and they won. Well, this year they're playing Buffalo on Sunday.
Yeah.
I might try to get out. I know it's not the AFC Championship game, but it might be a little time to get out and go fishing about 11 to 3 if I can get out there, and then maybe the Chiefs will win again. That might have a little something going on with the Chiefs every year in the playoffs if I can get out and go fishing.
Yeah. Well, Gary, hey, thank you, and I hope you're doing well. And I really, think them jigs are going to work for you. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for watching. Where's Mick at? Is Mick watching or is he home sleeping? He'll probably answer me here in a minute. So.
Yeah, we've got quite a few jig heads to get through. About 6,000 right now, and they just shipped another 3,000 yesterday. I was looking for them today. My poor old girl lady, I got she trying to get out, and I'm like, pull it up at the shop. You don't pick up 3,000 jig heads in a box.
Right. Yeah.
So, but we've been fortunate. Our jigs have been fished in a lot of different lakes. I took them down to Terrebonne, Louisiana. We caught some good fish down there. We did all right. We did all right down there in the Crappie Masters tournament for a day or two. For the first day, I think it was.
Right.
There's so many. This was long before live scope, and there are so many conditions that you just can't control. So you have to try and compensate for it, or just weather it out. And if you can't make the right move and compensate for it, and it's time to take that whipping.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you know how that is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's pretty disappointing when you can't hardly sleep at night the night before the tournament because you're on some good fish, and then you roll up there and the wind's blowing the wrong way, or they got a hat. I had some good fish in Brush Creek one day. We got an inch of rain that night, and I'm thinking, they ain't going to hurt nothing, an inch of rain. Well, in the creek it did. It didn't hurt the Fort very much, but boy, it loaded that creek up pretty bad.
Right.
And it don't take much. And another thing about our lake here is so many of these creeks have silted in. Up on the upper end, Crooked Creek, Crutcher Creek, Brush Creek, those creeks, Long Branch is pretty silted in. It's got to be pretty decent to get in there and find any kind of water to fish.
Right. Yeah. A lot tougher than it used to be.
Yeah, it is. I can remember back in the day when, that you could get into Crooked Creek at 606 or 607.
Yeah.
It's hard now. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's pretty darn hard.
There's some good crappie up there, from what I heard.
Right. Yeah, at times. And way up there on the north end, on the far end of North Fork, there's some good fish up there at times,
Yeah.
So.
Yep. It's changing.
Yep.
We got Kenny Wilkinson in the house, local guide here on Mark Twain Lake. Says, "What's up, fellas?"
Kenny?
He's in his truck right now. Sound's not working. He's probably gonna have to watch it later. We're probably gonna have Ken. I'm gonna probably have Kenny Wilkinson on here maybe next week if it works out. Talk about some his guide service and all that good stuff. So now, Van, I know Van has a Thumper Jigs tournament that many of you guys that's watching has probably fished. Do you want to kind of elaborate on that a little bit and give a date and all that good
Sure.
stuff?
Yeah, usually we have it in May. We try to have it in May every year, but due to the fact that Route U is closed, and it's I can't remember exactly when, June or July they closed it, and I hear that they're not even going to accept bids on it until March. So the chances of them having it open by May are slim to none. So we are going to, and then by now all the weekends in May have been taken. And I don't want to, if I bump in against another tournament, I ain't scared, but I'm just taking fishermen from them guys.
Right.
I'll do that. It's like, if you want to tournament fish, okay. We'll have ours in September sometime.
Okay.
We haven't set a final date, but we're looking at September because just every weekend in May is taken, and I don't, the sign up is here at the shop. So then you'd have to drive all the way around the lake, it's just too much of a hassle.
Right.
So we're looking at September. We'll have it in September. It'll be a good tournament. For the guys that haven't fished it that are on here, it's $100 entry fee. It's 100% plus payback. We feed you sliced pork barbecue and all the trimmings on Friday night. Then Pam and I pack it all up, take it over to Sugar Hills on Saturday. It's a good time. There's the biggest fish ever weighed in on a tournament on this lake was weighed in at 361.
I videoed it. It's actually up. That video's on my channel. If you guys want to go back and watch it.
It's something that on there. It wasn't my fish, but it's something I won't forget.
Yeah.
Because he pulled it out of that basket. Yeah. When he pulled it out of that basket, it just like sucked all the oxygen out of the place. Everybody's jaws are dropping.
Big old, man, that's a big old bass. It was a big old crappie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a monster,
361, but you guys want to see that him, if you guys want to see him weighing in that fish, go
Mike's
back.
a tremendous fisherman. His dad was, him and his dad both. They were Florida state champion in crappie masters, and they were also Missouri state champion. They beat me and Glenn Carroll out of the Missouri state championship, the very first state championship they ever had.
Wow.
And, they beat us out. So, in there, he's a great guy. Has always been a good friend to me, and he's a great fisherman. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It was. Maybe somebody will break it this year. So,
yeah.
There's been a lot of, there's been a lot of 2.5 pounders caught this year on Mark Twain Lake this fall and the winter.
There has been a lot in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It has been. It was amazing.
Yeah. And a lot of guys are, they're taking them, and they can do what they want when they catch a big fish like that. But a lot of guys are taking them 2.5 pounders, pound and a half fish, and are throwing them back and, trying to get the, have more big fish in the lake.
A 10 to 11 inch fish, the fillet off that fish, it fits on the bun really nice, and you get it crisp all the way through. That's just a good eating fish.
Yeah. Van, and we got a question here, Northeast Missouri Angler. Van, what is or was your favorite place to crappie fish?
I'll tell you what, I like Darbone because of the quality of fish.
Hello.
Yeah. I like Darbone because of the quality of fish we catch.
Right now.
But right here on Mark Twain Lake really is my favorite. It's fishing. Some days you go out and whack them good, and some days you go out and you're just scratching your head. But right. I like Mark Twain Lake, and I'm one of the things that differs me from most of you guys is I'm a shallow water fisherman. If they're deeper than the length of my pole, they're pretty safe for me. I ain't got enough string to get down 20 feet.
Yeah. That day we went spider rigging, we wasn't fishing very deep.
No, and so that's my deal. And I just don't hunt them up, and I don't like, I mean, I know times when people catch fish off them bridge piers there at South Fork. I've been there down 25, 28 feet deep, and every fish I stick feels like it's a pound and a half.
Yeah.
I get up there, it ain't no bigger than my hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude. Man, it ain't worth wasting the men on or whatever.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I used to really like fishing up in the rivers. At Middle Fork, I mean, everybody will tell you that, Masters tournaments, the majority of tournaments are going to be won out of Middle Fork, and that's absolutely correct.
Sure.
But the majority of boats are going to be there.
Right.
If you get 40 boats in there, 30, somewhere around 35, 36 will be up there in Middle Fork beat.
Yeah. Yeah, you go to the weigh-ins on these crappie tournaments. I'll go video them sometimes, and everybody's Middle Fork.
Yeah. And it's amazing. And now with live scope just how spooky these fish get for pressure.
Yeah.
So I mean, when them guys come in with the weights they do at Crappie Masters, it's an accomplishment because I mean, they've been chasing them fish for 3 days at least.
Yeah.
So
and they're targeting big fish. They're just targeting the tournament size fish.
And back in the day when I fished, going way back when I fished the Chamber of Commerce tournaments with Phil Hagan and Homer Rambo. I mean, a 7-pound stringer, that was, wow, that he had 7 pounds. you get 7
pounds check now.
You get 7 pounds now. Oh, that's nice. Cute. Yeah. That's cute.
Good job. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how much it's changed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And them big fish are still there. And there was, I mean, the last, not the last Chigger Hill tournament, but the one before that, Pam and I weighed 2-pounders.
Yeah.
I think we had a 228 and a 212, and that, I mean, I was proud as can be. I mean, that was just, I'd never weighed a 2-pounder in at a tournament here. And then on there, I showed up with 2-pounders, and I was just
2 of them. Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to catch a 2-pounder sometime. I have never caught a 2-pounder.
I'm going to tell you something. When you're crappie fishing and you stick a big fish and you feel that thump and you drive that thumper jig home, plumb through his skull and roll up on the ball of your feet and the fish don't move, you got one, buddy.
You got one.
Yeah, you got one.
That's right.
I mean, that's a great feeling,
Sure.
I mean, it's one thing to hit him and look up that 6-inch fish blown up over your head because you hit him so hard. But when you stick one of them big ones, and he don't move, I'm like, and then they, especially if it's a black, then they bust and run like a bass.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They go around circles and everything.
Yeah. It's pretty neat. Yes, sir. It's pretty neat. So.
And we got Doug Porter on. Hey, Jason, what size hardened reels do you use on your jig pole? I've got 2 setups. I use the size 1000 Finesse Pro 1000 and the Pro Finesse 2000 from hardened reels. I got, I like that 2000 size and I like the 1000 size. I mean, I like them equally both, or, I like them equally the same. But just whatever your preference is.
Which one's bigger, Jason?
The 2000.
The 2000.
Yeah, 2000 is bigger than the 1000. But I use that 2000 a lot for bass fishing if I throw a spinning rod. But but I like that 2000 and the 1000 for my jigging poles as well, especially in the wintertime when I'm fishing anywhere below, 12 foot deep, 12 foot or deeper. I like them spinning reels, and
I do. I mean,
anything shallower than that, I use those little Bano B&M little bitty reels that look like that you just got to feed the line out. I know Kenny Wilkinson uses them a lot, but he kind of got me hooked on them a year or so ago. But
I mean, it's all about preference. I mean, there again, going back all them days, it was always when I fishing, it was always B&M. There was Southern Pro dabbled in rods for a while, and nowadays it's B&M and it's H&H and Denali and Jenko. Yeah,
there's a lot of great companies out there.
that's right. And and it's getting more and more
Whatever you
suited
prefer.
for crappie fishing. Yeah,
Yeah. You know,
absolutely.
if anybody's looking to try these Arden reels out, I got a discount code, Strike Three Fishing at checkout. You can save 25% off anything on the website from Arden Reels. So, Doug, if you're interested in trying any of those Pro Finesse 1000 or 2000 size spinning reels or anything on their website, check them out, ardenreels.com, and save 25%. Strike Three Fishing at checkout. Uh, and 25% off is a pretty good deal right now. So, and
Yeah, it is right now for sure.
but anyway, see if we. Thanks for asking that question. It's like Mike Frailman. I hope I'm saying your last
Well,
name
that's
right.
great, man. I
Yeah,
did that. Lake Shelbyville. Sometimes it can be hard lake to fish.
really.
Uh, yeah, it can be hard. There's some. I mean, there's some there's some flooded timber and stuff like that up on the upper end. I fished that lake before I moved to Missouri. I lived in Springfield, Illinois. Was an iron worker there, and I fished a lot of club tournaments there. And where the Kaskaskia comes in, the Okaw comes in, Wilburn Creek, Whitley Creek, some of them creeks. And one thing I learned there is corking. Now them guys, because them creeks are silted in bad, and rather than get up on them fish and they're real shallow, they get back and pitch them corks with a jig to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a hoot. I mean, it's fun now.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what it's like to see that cork go down.
Oh, yeah. It's nothing.
I mean, it
Nothing
is.
like it.
That's right. But I always enjoyed fishing Shelbyville. It's kind of rough. It's for me. It was hard to get out of the wind and stay on the bite. I mean, I could get out of the wind, but just wasn't no fish there or wasn't
Right.
biting. So, but I like Shelbyville. We won a club classic on there. You know, and like I said, when it comes to Homer Rambo and Phil Hagen, man, they Phil Hagen in particular was my mentor, and he lived right there, about 6 miles from Shelbyville. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so and he showed me a lot. He taught me a lot.
I bet. So is that lake like a Thomas Hill this power plant lake up there where it's
No, it's a
low?
core lake. It's a
It's
core
core lake.
impoundment. It's 12,000. I think 12,800, 12,600. So it's about half or two-thirds the size of Mark Twain.
Oh,
But
okay.
it has a lot of mud banks on it, and the feeder creeks. A lot of them are, if you're not in the channel, they're silted in pretty bad. But when it comes to corking, uh, Hagen showed me that on Shelbyville, the wind blows quite a bit. I don't say all the time, but quite a bit. And so in the spring and in the fall, you can get 3 or 4 feet deep in 6 or 8 foot of water and get back and flip that cork just maybe 2 or 3 feet short of that stump, and that wind will push that cork with that jig, and it looks as natural as can be. And when it gets up to the stump, boom, down it goes.
Down goes.
It's amazing.
Put him in the boat.
Yeah. And when I was fishing with Phil, I got a cork out. It looked like it looked like the top of a milk jug, man. That thing was about 3 inches in diameter. And I bet he had 8 fish in the boat, and he never said a word. And I kept flinging on him, and every time that jig would come back and cork wrap around my pole, finally I go, "What, Phil? What am I doing wrong?" And he didn't even look at me. He goes, "Well, your cork's too big." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You're looking for a natural presentation." He goes, "With that big cork, them fish will hit that jig, feel the resistance, and spit it out. And that's
Right.
when you react to it."
Yeah.
And he just reached his box and gave me a small one, and then it was game on then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I use here on Mark Twain's. Those little
Right. Yes.
three quarter inch pear shaped cork, no weight on them. Just
That's right. And you can here, there, it doesn't matter. When them fish are up running shad in shallow water, then you can flip that cork and that jig and you can work them over. You don't got to get up on them.
right.
You don't have to spook them. You can get back 15, 20 feet. I love pitching to them. I love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
One of the things that I tell everybody to look for in the spring and in the fall is watch them seagulls, man. Watch them birds, because when they're not just when they're sitting around squawking, but when you see them in the back of one of these feeder creeks diving on the shad, That's
Oh,
where you need to be.
yep,
You know,
absolutely.
they're the best shallow water fishermen there is. They're
Yeah,
up there like, you know, you know, they're
yeah,
up there like a drone looking at them stuff. You
yeah.
know,
They're
when
ready
you
to
know
eat.
if the shad's there, them fish are right underneath
Oh,
them.
yeah, they're right there around somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
With
So
this
I
live
always,
sonar now, you can find them.
yeah, I
Pretty
always look
easy.
for them shad, man.
Yeah.
You bet.
I caught. I tried it this spring. I think I did a video on it too. But I was scanning some brush in like 4 or 5 foot of water and had some crappie in it. And I didn't. And then I just pitched my cork up in there. Little shad head about 18 inches deep, and threw it right up in that bush and drug her out of there. And I caught 2 or 3
Yeah.
good fish off that brush pile, seeing them on live scope. I mean,
You know,
I wasn't glued to my screen or anything, but I just
right,
found them and then just pitched
right.
them.
You stumble on them, sure.
Yeah,
Another thing, the males, when they first move onto the beds, they're pretty busy fanning that bed out. You
right,
know, so if you go down the bank jigging, you pick some off. You know, but some of them, you know, because I'm not very patient at it. I'm just dropping down there, covering water. Well, if you put a cork on it, and I mean it ain't like you said 4 to 6 inches deep, then when you throw that cork in there, that is up in that fish's face. You know, it's in his face, and it annoys him, and he'll kill it.
right,
And I went in behind people and caught better and more. Well, I don't say more, but better quality fish than what they had by just jigging.
right.
You know? So I mean, believe me, I'm a firm believer in there's a time to get that cork out and fish.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
the time when that wind's blowing a little too hard, you're just wasting your time.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Or
yeah,
go find a cove where you're out of the wind or something.
right. So
We got Hatch Mo 55. It must be Mark Hatcher, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Mark? Eastern Missouri crop. Mark's on the Thumper Jigs pro staff.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
He's one of the original ones, isn't he?
that's right. He's one of the first guys we went to.
Yeah.
Ask him.
Big
Yeah,
Fish Hatch. Big Fish Hatch.
that's it, boy. Yeah, he is.
Eastern Missouri Crappie Club winter meeting is Saturday at the Paris 4-H building, 12 p.m. All welcome to attend. Thanks,
Yeah,
Hatch. Appreciate that.
you bet.
Paris, Missouri. I'm sure everybody's watching knows where that is. But I'm actually from Paris. That's where I grew up.
So I'm really looking forward to this spring. Maybe get out some more because I think what we're going to do. I mean, we are probably going to just take one day off during the week once it warms up. You know, I mean, I just we've just been so busy, and we just are constantly getting staying busy. And that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, you know, but
Right. Yeah. Ripping Lips 23. Timmy G, what's up? He says, "What's up, fellas?"
yeah, we're telling stories. Come on, chime in there and let's hear
Yeah,
one.
he's probably going to jump. I think he gets on that Panfish Nation podcast too. That's coming up. I think tonight at 8 o'clock. Tonight's Thursday, so
Yeah.
it'll be on here in about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Talk to him. We'll see. We got David Daniels. Has anyone found those big shell crackers on Mark Twain?
No, I mean,
I
I
mean,
think Dennis would know more about that than
yeah,
us.
decent
But
size.
I'm going to say, I'm telling you what, I don't know. I don't know what it is. You know, when I like there again, you know, going back, there was just so many flathead in this lake and blues, and they kept them. I assume they kept them bluegill down. I mean,
Right.
they punished them, and so. But
'Cause I don't catch even bass fishing. I don't catch like some. I don't catch any big ones. I mean, but I'm bass fishing,
right.
you know. But Dennis, I know from Northeast Missouri Angler. I know he fishes for them bluegills. A lot
I
of
mean,
places around, so he
I
picked
haven't
them
heard.
up.
I mean, even going to the fish cleaning stations, I haven't seen anybody having a bunch of them. You know,
No,
big
I
ones.
know this. Here, let's see. Dennis just put this on here. There you go. Go to Honeywell Lake. Bring trolling motor and battery, which you got to use their boat.
Oh, I see.
and they got some red ears. I know this Route J reservoir over
Yeah,
here.
right. Yeah,
Giving
you
out
got
some secrets, but
fish.
this little Route J reservoir here at Mark Twain Lake's got some pretty good bluegill in it. You can get there in the May or whenever, and you can see them big old bluegill beds, and you can usually catch a heck out of decent, you know probably 9 inchers. I'm guessing something like that, 9 or 10. But anyway, that's Honeywell Lake's good, and then this Route J Reservoir is good. But if we find out anything on Mark Twain here, we'll let you know.
Yeah,
But
that's long.
I
Yeah.
haven't had any luck catching any big ones.
No, and I just don't fish for them. I was just let's go crappie fishing. That's it.
That's right. Got Mark Graham in the house. Good evening, gents. Keep up the good
Yeah.
work. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for joining us tonight. I have to have Mark on here one of these days. He's a good guy. He can he caught him and his buddy caught a couple good limits the other day if I remember right. Isn't that right, Mark? If you're still on here.
Yeah, I think I've seen some pictures
Yeah, I've
there
seen it
too.
on Facebook there. No, they had some.
Scott Breed about a
And I
month
don't
ago.
and I don't even think Mark. I don't think they even had live scope. Actually, I think they know the
Old
lake
school,
and,
man.
and know
Old
what
school.
these fish are
Yeah,
doing. And
right. That's
if I
awesome.
remember right, I don't think Mark has it, but I think they just went out and have the knowledge of the lake like they do, and they went out and caught two good messes of crappie. So, but if
I
you
see
do got
pictures.
live scope, let us know, Mark. But I didn't think you had it. He
I see,
Mark also put a little comment too. The re-rag pool is pretty good for bluegill. Getting back to the bluegill comment, so
yeah. I seen some pictures of Scott Breed. He had a couple hammers up about 4 weeks ago. He had some toads. You
yeah,
know, I
yeah,
don't know. They're
yeah,
nice looking fish. Yeah.
yeah. I remember seeing those too. I believe.
And I don't know what I mean, maybe Dennis could help us out about the walleye population on this lake, but it seems like there's not a tremendous amount of pressure on them fish.
Right.
That, I mean, Craig Warfield, the only one I know that fishes for him, and
Right.
you know, it spurts. He comes in sometimes and buys jigs or bring me some walleye fillets, you
Right.
know, but you know,
Yeah, because
it's
I catch a walleye or once while bass fishing on accident with crankbait or something, but
I
after
caught one trolling up there at Sandy Creek years ago, man. That bad boy was at least 4 pounds, maybe six. I don't
oh
know.
wow,
We were in it. We were in that freedom tournament with the veteran. And he's like, "You gonna keep that? You ain't gonna let go? I mean, what are you gonna do with it? You got to go away. Quincy, you'll be dead." So we took pictures of it, cut it loose. Yeah. So
Mark said, yeah, he caught them fish with Van's neighbor Ross
yeah,
also.
Ross
Yeah,
had a lot of that.
yep,
Yeah, good
yep.
deal.
Let's see here. Okay, no live scope on his boat, so I know them guys just like I said, they know the lake, they know where to look for them fish this time of year, and went out and got it done. So we might have to have him on here. He can talk about not using live scope and how they went about finding them fish. So
Yeah, I mean, we just like I said, I'm a shallow water fisherman by nature, and I just got my live scope this year and only had it on 3 times, but generally we just go pick a feeder creek or a river and just fish it. Just keep hunting and keep hunting until you find them. You just gotta,
right,
you know. I
yep,
watch some of them guys some of them guys 10 or 15 minutes on a flat, and then they're putting the poles back down, powering up, and leaving. They just ain't there, and it don't
right,
take you long to figure them out. And then you gotta, I mean, at least if you get bit, you got a chance of moving up or down, deeper or shallower,
yeah,
and catching better quality fish. But if you're in
absolutely,
there 15, 20 minutes and you ain't getting bit, maybe in the spring or in the fall in the morning, when it's cold out,
yeah,
things take a little longer to heat up. But on a nice mid-May day, I don't know, man.
yeah,
Yeah, it's always been my deal. We just keep hunting until we find them.
yep,
You
yeah.
know?
That's what you got to do. We
Yeah.
got old Hatcher. Spider rigging is not dead.
Well, that's all he said. That's all he said. He goes on and on about that spider ring.
We know he likes that spider rigging.
Oh, he does. I would too.
Yep.
He's good at it. He is
Yep.
good. And we were, and they were down there at Darbone with us,
Right.
and they were rigging down there, and
We get looks like the rock and old road beds and troll cranks. You can get them from time to time, catching them in Sauger below the locks right now in the Mississippi. So he was talking about them walleye, I guess, on the lake
right.
there. So
Smaller and walleye, yeah. But
here,
yeah, Hatcher is a die
he
in the
said it's
wool.
called. He said lazy. LOL.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
That
Yeah,
time I went with you for the
wool
first
rigger,
time,
man.
huh?
He's a die in the wool rigger. We, like I said, you go down there to Terrebonne, them big cypress trees, man. They remind me of them trees in the Wizard of Oz where the limbs just wrap around and grab you. When you start getting
Right.
close to them, all of a
Right.
sudden you got all 6 or 8 rods hung.
Yeah.
Hatch will tell you. I mean, they went through. I mean, so did we. We tied rigs every night. We strung poles and tied rigs every night. We were there for like 4 days or 5 days.
Wow.
We had a great time. Caught some. We didn't catch a lot of fish, but the ones we caught were nice. I think our biggest one was 254.
Oh.
So yeah, as a tow, and we had a 240 go with it that same day. So
yeah,
but
yeah.
So,
that time I went spider rigging with you last spring, it was
yeah.
That was new to me, and it was it was. I think what I caught the first fish first time. I mean, I just sat the pole the
Pulling
minnow
rod.
in the water and pole went down. It was fun. But
and when you're on them, it's and you can imagine how busy it gets when you hit a spot.
Oh yeah,
pole go down. Yeah, and catch them too. I was up Sandy Creek one time when I first. The only way I learned spider rig, I think I said this before, is to take all my trolling or dipping rods out of the boat because I'd get irritated from rigging and I'd look over and see a cedar tree and I'm like, well, I'll go over there and dip that. I'll catch a fish out of there. So the only way for me to do it was to take them rods out of the boat and just fish spider rigging rods.
Right.
But I did catch it one time up there in Sandy. I had a pound fish on the top hook and a pound quarter on the bottom hook. So that was pretty.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to net it. Oh boy.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Got Magic Rooster Blues. I enjoy your channel, Jason. Also picked up some Thumper Jigs. Going to be using them around South Fork soon. Appreciate it, buddy. And glad you picked up some Thumper Jigs.
Yeah, we are too. We
pictures, send them over to Van on his Facebook page. He'll be glad to see them.
Yeah, and just South Fork up in that river, man, it can get it. It's all the same with all these spots, whether it's you're up in the river or Sandy Creek or Pigeon Roost or down on Big Indian Lagoon. And when you're there and it's right. It's fun.
Right.
You're catching.
Right. Well, Northeast Missouri angler, he likes a spider rig July through August if he crappie fishes. I know he does a lot of catfishing.
Right. Well, I like it in the spring, before it gets super warm out, when these fish are transitioning and they're roaming in them schools of shad. I mean, even with my old electronics, I could turn that on and I could see them fish under me and you'd see I guess the word you say is an aurora around them. And there'd be the fish in the middle and there'd be a green or a blue aura around them. And that's shad. And them fish just suspend with them shad and swim with them.
Right.
And it does, ripping lips is right. At this time, it has its advantage. It can be irritating. It's just like anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Sometimes it's dipping, sometimes it's rigging, sometimes it's shallow water, pitching corks.
Yeah.
It's whatever you're comfortable with that the fish are eating. That's, I guess,
I mean, for me, all winter with live scope, I can't get the fish to bite that are on pole timber, but I can get them to bite if they're on laydowns. And this was, December last time.
Yeah, that's the way it's been.
I can get them to bite on the laydowns and brush piles and stuff, but I find a lot of fish on on some pole timber. I can't get them to eat. It's just.
That's the last time out, me and Brandon Spalding, same thing. We just went up there in the Middle Fork and turned that on, and he's looking around and he goes, "There's just no fish on this pole timber."
Right. Jay Garrison, what's up, Jay? Yeah, I talked to Lamar the other day at Casey's in the parking lot there. He said you kind of smoked him in the fishing on. I guess that was Tuesday. I guess that was the day. Yeah, Tuesday right
I
here.
haven't
Tuesday
seen him in a long. I mean, I ain't been on the water. I ain't seen him in a long time, Lamar.
Yeah, I saw him the other day at Casey's. He told me old Jay put it on him. So
Well, and I ought to go down there, but it's just there again. The road's out, so now it's so far to drive around.
yep.
No,
Yeah, I see
so
Jay. I see Jay when I'm in Louisiana a lot of times working. I'll see him
oh yeah,
grocery store or something, chit
yeah,
chat with him, and I see Lamar every time I'm in Perry, usually at the store or Casey's or wherever. So happened to see him the other day. So yeah, Lamar's your live scope. I mean, he knows obviously knows this lake probably better than anybody. Uh,
yeah,
you know,
he's dialed into it pretty good.
yeah. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think Lamar does have live scope though.
He may have. Like I said, I haven't seen him in a
I
year or
think
so.
he does, but I could be wrong. Jay, if he does, let us know. But I think when I talked to him a while back, he said he got it, but he doesn't really like it. But I think he does like it.
For me personally, me not being a technical wizard by no means,
Right.
it's what grows on you. You know,
Yeah.
it's something that you got to learn to trust.
Sure. Yeah. It's just a different style.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just you're fishing where you know there's fish there right now. You know you're not playing
Right.
around in 5 or 10 minutes. You know they're there. You move on. But guys
Right.
like Lamar and yourself, you guys have done this for years without live scope,
Right.
obviously. You
Right.
know, side imaging, down imaging, finding them, and know what the fish do and how they react. Certain times of year like the winter time where they go, all that good stuff. So I enjoy talking to Lamar when I talk to him because he's got some pretty good stories on on that crappie fishing.
Yeah. He's a good. I mean, me and him always got along good. You
Right.
know, and
Right.
he's been around. It ain't just Terry. He has
Oh
been
yeah.
down. He's been down to Granada. He's been all over, and wherever he goes, he takes it serious. That's the thing.
Right.
He takes it serious, and
Yeah.
so
I know he
yeah,
bass fishes a lot too.
yeah,
So
yeah,
he does.
yeah.
He's pretty much
And
a
I have a
legend
lot.
on this lake, huh?
I said I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's always
I
been
do
he's
too.
always been good to me and straight up. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep. He's a
yeah.
good guy. So anyway, let's see. Jay said, yeah, he does, but he just uses it to see where the fish are in the area. So that's kind of what we did when I was with you. When you
Right.
first got your live scope, we found the fish, and I mean, you didn't really want to look at the screen. You just wanted to.
Yeah. I just
We
want to
found
see
them on
what.
this area. We dropped down to them, dipped
Yep.
around,
Yep.
all that good stuff.
Yep.
So
So
you
yeah.
know,
So
that's kind of what I do when I bass fish with live scope. For summertime, they're on points or whatever. I'll scan a point and see what I think are bass, and then I'll just, I won't look at the screen. And I'll throw a jig or whatever, big worm or something. Just go fishing. You know, Usually they're there, but whether they bite's a different story. But
yeah, that's coaxing them. And when I'm out here in the shop tying jigs, sometimes a lot of times I'll watch somebody's show, and they're talking about downsizing baits, and I mean you can see that now with live scope. You can see how uh, that they react to a bigger bait, or I watched Valentine the other day fishing on Granada with the guy Freaky Frank, and they're throwing a bait past the fish, seeing it on scope, throwing a bait past the fish, dragging it back over his head and then dropping it from. I mean, it looked like they had orchestrating a airstrike or something coming in there. I don't know. I'm like, come on, man, it's just gonna catch
right,
the fish.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
It's a different, it's a different beast. It's got its advantages, I think, but you still got to catch them.
well, that's true. That's true. Like I said, there is an advantage to let you know them fish are there.
Hmm.
Doesn't mean you get them to bite. So,
Yep, yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Well, Van, we've been on here a little over an hour.
All right, buddy.
You guys, uh, if you want to stop by the shop, call Van.
Yeah.
You want to give if you want to give your number out, I know it's all over your jig
Or
package.
just or just
Just
message us.
messaging.
That's the easiest thing to do. You don't put your number out here on this.
Yeah, yeah, just message him and
Yeah.
You know, he's got a Facebook page
So,
and all that
yeah.
good stuff. But look forward to your Thumper Jigs tournament. Hopefully, maybe I can fish it in September if I don't have a bass tournament.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. Hopefully we can get a lot of people. Like I said, it's 100% plus payback, and it's grown into a pretty good tournament, and
Right.
guys, for $100 investment, guys are taking some pretty
Oh
decent
yeah,
money.
yeah, absolutely. So, well,
So
I hope
yeah,
everybody enjoyed this little podcast deal I started here. We're gonna try to do this, like I said, once a week. Hopefully, maybe try to do it on Thursdays. Just depends on my basketball schedule. This rest of the basketball season, it ends end of February or whatever. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Next week we'll have a different guest of some sort, whether it be uh, crappie guide Kenny Wilkinson. I know a couple of weeks ago I had Northeast Missouri angler on here, Dennis, a good buddy of mine. So anyway, thank you.
hopefully after we get back in Kansas City show, maybe come back on and show you some new jigs. Maybe that we.
Yeah. And then that Rock Island show is February what? 4th, 3rd? Oh no, it's not over Valentine's Day.
14th to the 17th of February, something like that.
Hang on, let me look here. I got it
Yeah,
on the schedule.
it's a
here.
good show. It's it is a good show. I was impressed with it last year, even as bad as the COVID deal was. It's another mandate deal, but they're not.
I think it's the 18th, 19th, and 20th, isn't it?
I don't know. It's 4 days.
So 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So come and check Thumper Jigs booth out. I'll be there.
Yeah, come on by and visit, man.
Yep.
You bet. We'll all,
Hatcher will probably be there.
Oh yeah, Hatcher will be there, buddy. You bet.
Kenny
on that.
Wilkinson might be there.
Hatcher's got to sing the praises of Spider Rig.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Love you, Hatch.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, Hatch. See you here. Here's Hatch right here.
Yeah.
See you boys in Rock Island. There you go.
Bet, buddy.
And real quick, one more comment. David Daniels, I'll be stopping by Van and pick up some. So
okay,
we're looking
David.
for him. But
be here.
anyway, check us out. I'll be at the show as well. Van will be there. Hatch, come by and say hi. Let's talk some Thumper Jigs, crappie fishing, whatever. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks, Van, for joining me.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Everybody stay warm, and we'll see you guys next time. Yep. See you guys next time.
All right. Take care.